Hey guys, welcome back to Fitness Reset here in the gym for day 30 measurements. So what we did at the end, so I had a beginning, which I got the measurements roughly 1 or 2 weeks prior to starting the challenge. I did day 15 measurements, which were my halfway point, and then I did measurements after the challenge was over. So I found some pretty cool things. It's actually similar to what I was kind of expecting. I knew that I would plateau at some point, and my guess was it would be somewhere around that halfway point. And then there was also some discrepancies that I was able to notice that, it's a little bit of the variances are likely just due to measurement differences, maybe not getting the exact same spot on the arm. So one thing that we started off, my biceps, my right biceps was about 12 3/4. My left bicep was about 12 1/4. Halfway point, my right bicep was 13 and my left bicep was 12 13/16, so just a touch under 13. And then at the very end, my biceps, the measurements were, my left bicep was 12 5/8 and my right bicep was 12 15/16. So it's literally both of those are just a touch under 13. I measured, I think it was today or yesterday, and I at a quick glance, it looked like it was right at 13 on both arms. So basically, a lot of that little bit of variances is likely just due to measurements, not getting in the exact same spot in the arm. So as you can see though, there was a good little jump in the biceps from beginning to middle point. Not really much jump at all from the middle to the end. So obviously at that halfway point, my body had already plateaued. My chest started out about 37 inches. Halfway point was 38, and at the end, it was still 38. So, like I said, even though at the end I was doing a lot more concentration on doing slower and doing one arms at a time, alternating curls, taking the hex press a lot slower, just because I was able, I was a lot stronger and I felt a lot stronger in it. I was able to take it a lot slower and control that motion a lot more. But even with that slower control, my body had already gotten used to it, and so therefore, since it was stronger, it was able to adapt enough and didn't need to grow anymore. And then one note was my forearm started out about 9 3/4 on the right, and the left was 9 1/4. Halfway through, my left showed 8 14/16. So again, that's probably likely just a measurement error. And then my right was 9. So that's again likely just a measurement error. But at the end, 10 1/2 for both my left and right forearm. So assuming that middle one's just an odd, fluke that we measured a little off, I gained at worst about a quarter, I guess about 3/4 of an inch or more on my forearms. So that's something depending on where you're measuring each time. That's one thing that I noticed was harder to do, to remember the exact point where you measured each time. So overall, I would say 1 inch gain in my chest is pretty good. Something that I plan to use the information that I learned this round, the fact that my body's going to plateau after about 2 weeks. I think I'm going to try to transition that into my training and be able to use it knowing going forward, if I get some routine or workout plan that I really like, after 2 weeks, I've got to change it and change it for at least 1 to 2 weeks so that my body, gets that muscle confusion in there, doesn't get too used to doing the same thing over and over, and know that it doesn't have to grow anymore. To keep that growth and get those gains coming, you're going to have to adapt a little bit as you go on.